What's your dad like?
What do you mean? He would call up and say, why you not tell me about this before? He'd pull up to my house, ask me to come outside, and probably punch me. My name is Slava. I'm from southwest Russia, but from Siberia, from Omsk. I was christened as a Russian Orthodox person. I went to church maybe once or twice. So the first time for my christening, the second time, I can't really remember why I went there. Then by the time I reached the UK, I think I was a Protestant Christian by then. I was on the, church services committee at school and singing in the choir and everything else. The thing that attracted me most to Islam, and I repeat this time and time again because everybody asks me the same question, is that it makes sense. Not only overall, but at that specific point in time, it just made perfect sense to me. It wasn't the most pleasant of times, even though times were actually good. I went through different financial stages of my family going through life, and at that point in time, it was probably at its peak. It was the highest time, things were good, but it was also the worst time for me looking back. And it got to a stage in life where I just thought, this is not possible. I just cannot keep doing this time and time again, night after night. My studies were slipping, everything else was just going backwards. Being in London around that time, it was 2005, 2006-ish. So, it was after the London terror attacks and obviously the 2001 events. The media was savage about Islam generally. And I knew for a fact that it simply cannot be. You cannot be painted in such a picture where you have, the complete extreme. So it's only extreme here or extreme there. It's got to be somewhere in the middle. I'm quite a stubborn guy. And when somebody says don't do something, I find 99 ways of trying to prove them wrong. So I sat down and I wanted to find out what the religion was actually about. What I found most interesting is that there was never really pressure to become Muslim. It was just a whole lot of information being thrown at you. So from trying to experience Ramadan, I actually thought I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to have a test drive, if you want. And it became just a period of complete tranquility. I was so relaxed. Yeah, I was hungry, I was tired, but I was just completely relaxed and I was at peace with myself. And looking back, that's what nothing else in this world can plug that gap. I was at the London Central Mosque and I was looking for a person to say, well, how do I join this? How do I do this? So I did. I can't really describe the feeling of it. As the years go on, the best feeling I could think of to describe that moment is just gratitude that I was actually put down on the right path, and that all of the concerns that I've had, they've not really materialized. My biggest concern back then was, how will my parents take it? How will my friends take it? How will everybody that I know, including my roommate at the time, who was actually one of the biggest opponents of me joining Islam, how would he take it? All of the friends that I've had previously who found out about it, the real ones stayed. The flaky ones that I was concerned about, well, they flaked off. What I'm concerned about now is that, what if my friends, find out that I'm doing this charitable work? Or what will people think of me when I'm spending so much time in the mosque? Or, a lot of people ask, well, why? Why Islam? And I say, well, how can you deny something by way of religion where you give? And the more you give, the better you feel. You find yourself in things where you think, God, I would have never done this 5 years ago. Now that I've accepted Islam, I have a clear structure, I have a clear guideline. 9 years ago when I accepted Islam, there wasn't half of the things that we have now. Every morning I wake up and there's some Islamic news on my phone, because it's just set as an update. If I have some free time, I'll download a podcast of an Islamic scholar. And it's just fantastic. There's so much knowledge around you. All you have to do is focus on it. Just find yourself a person who you consider to be a friend. Open up to them and tell them, look, I'm doing this. I'm very worried. If you feel comfortable, say I'm afraid. And believe me, they will come to your aid more times than you could possibly think. They will always be there to guide you, and they will fight your corner, because they don't even realize that you have these difficulties. They want to help you. Remember, if you get somebody to accept Islam and you are their door to Islam, you get so many good deeds. So I bet there will be people fighting your corner every step of the way.